Hey everybody, Felix Stoffelbaker here. I want to make a video because people don't really understand and can't really parse out who is who in the banking system. I just want to go through, there are 6 megabanks in the United States that control the Federal Reserve, and all of the local and regional banks will consolidate in some sort of crash or buyout or whatever it may be in order to consolidate to these 6 megabanks that will then be able to issue a central bank digital currency, because a lot of the local and regional banks can potentially opt out and not offer it. And so what has to happen is a total grid of control. We see that the Fed Now program is being announced for July of 2023, is going to be rolled out in a test trial for certain banks to be adopted. And then, I predict within 2 years, maybe 18 to 24 months, it will be fully implemented and cash as we know it will become illegal. So I wanted to really pin down and name the 6 megabanks that are going to be running this operation. You've got Goldman Sachs, and they're just a massive guy. If you look, a ton of people that came out of Block 1 that are associated with investing in EOS early are from Goldman Sachs. You've got Morgan Stanley, you've got Citibank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and JP Morgan. And JP Morgan has a ton of stuff going on too. They often get stuff going on where they were running a lot of the black ops that is used to blackmail politicians and high profile people, used to funnel drug money, different things. Everyone knows that the CIA is the biggest drug running dealer in the world. The East India Company had moved their wealth into different companies like HSBC to continue their operations. But one of the things that they're more recently able to do is get James Comey on the board, and to be able to allow and facilitate a lot of the corruption and different things going on. And it's just a huge network and web of these people using their influence and abilities and connections and things to really attack the people at the core level. And we've got these 6 megabanks going to issue the central bank digital currency, the CBDC, in the United States and across the world. It's already been implemented in China and places like that. And once they have a CBDC, it'll be tied to your credit score, and it'll be into a social credit system. And people just don't even realize how bad it's going to get, and it's only going to benefit the very, very top few people. So those are the banks to watch. Those are the banks that have the real power, that have the ability to implement a system of control like this at the highest order. And there was Occupy Wall Street back in the day that initially identified them and tried to stand up to them, but was immediately co-opted. It was very unorganized at the grassroots level. It was totally grassroots, and was taken over almost immediately, turned around, and then now if you're protesting the banks, you're a terrorist. And people like Paris, France, people like the French, they understand it. They have a long history of standing up to tyranny and revolution when it's necessary, when they're being having their rights taken away. They're having their pensions stolen. They're having their retirement ages raised. And instead of going after and robbing and looting Macy's and Walmart and the mall, like the shoe store, like that happens in the United States, in Paris, they actually went and they burned down, they didn't burn it down, but they set fire to Emmanuel Macron's favorite restaurant. They went into the BlackRock headquarters in France and were setting off fireworks and taking it over and really going after the power structure in a way that doesn't really happen anywhere else. And they understand, they get it, they see what's happening. They're having their birthright, their sovereignty, their wealth all just taken away at the vote of a unelected bureaucracy. And they aren't going to sit down and take it, but the United States is rolling over and they're just going to lay on their back and immediately let everyone steal all their stuff. It's absolutely crazy. And it all comes down to these banks. These are the ones implementing these types of policies across the globe, and especially here at home. And people not paying attention to that are going to be caught up in a system where they have to sign on to this in order to just get into a bread line, or in order to be having a universal basic income or whatever it is. They're going to be forced into it by lack of knowledge and understanding of what's coming. But if you have something like a Bitcoin or even something like a EOS in a lesser sense, you'll be able to weather the storm. You'll be able to dictate to them what you're going to do. And that scares them more than anything. So my answer to the 6 megabanks is Bitcoin. And they know that that's the answer to the 6 megabanks. And I just want to put that out there. Stoffel Baker out.